Radio Nova with PJ and Jim and the brilliant Russell Howard.
Hey,
look at that. How are you, sir? How are you? Welcome.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Good to have you.
Thanks for
Good to
coming
have
in.
you.
What a time to be in Ireland, eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just the weather is fierce, but your football team are winning.
Well,
Which is
pretty
the
exciting.
most unusual surprise for everyone, I think. Yeah.
Not the weather bit. The weather's always pretty crap. But the football team winning, that is a bit of a shock.
Pretty nifty, yeah.
Actually, can I ask you, since you brought up the subject of football, right? Can I ask you how you get from, because you're originally from Somerset, isn't it? Isn't
Yes,
that kind of
yeah.
home originally?
Yes, I was
Right.
born in Bath and lived in Bristol.
And yet, and steady yourself, PJ, steady yourself.
Yeah.
Be calm, be calm.
Are you a United fan?
He's a Liverpool supporter.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you get from no?
So my dad was born in Widnes, which is just right next to Liverpool. So that's how it started.
So okay, right.
So
yeah.
he kind of passed on the.
Yeah.
the
In fairness,
wonderful-
look at no judgment or no ridicule. I
Who do
mean,
you support?
David Beckham is kind of,
Well, this
he's a
we-
Londoner, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I suppose, yeah. We're a plethora of failed football teams that we're into. We're like, our local club here is Bohemians.
Not doing particularly great.
What a great
just
name for a
your-
football team, though.
Yeah, they're
It just sounds
fantastic.
like they dress like David Bowie. Do you know what I mean? Oh, come on, the Bohemians. They've all
I'm
got
telling
poetry books.
They do.
It's like they do.
Shut up.
They are the only club that has a resident poet.
Well, this is
poet
why
in
you're not.
residence.
This is why you aren't winning. Like that. He's on the side going, I've just got no inspiration for today's game. I've got nothing. I've writer's block. Like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Just walking away.
It's kind of true.
I mean, you're so accurate.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, there's very little poetry in English football stadiums.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Although
I've heard some
being
great
said-
chants.
Yeah, that being said, I always used to love "We've Got Salad." Did you ever hear that song?
No.
Which started by an Irish guy and Bobby Firmino. We sold Coutinho.
Oh,
but
sorry,
never
right.
mind, 'cause
I know I
we've
do
got
know.
salad.
Yeah, the guy from Cork whose
Yeah.
name
Yeah,
eludes me.
he
at the
kind of
minute, yeah.
became massively famous.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Can I just explain the reason that didn't drop with me straight away is that I thought you said we've got salad.
Soldiers
Oh, I
on.
see. No. Again, very little salad. Although that being said, at Chelsea, sorry, this is very football specific, but this is so weird.
Right.
It's quite graphic. But at Chelsea, they sing a song where they go, celery, celery, if she don't, I'll tickle her bum with a lump of celery. Like that. So you're basically trying to make your lady orgasm by rubbing it with celery. Listen, I'm no sexual expert, but
Wow.
I don't know if that would work. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
yeah.
She's a vegan. Like, I don't know how it
You're
works.
never going to
definitely-
get that level of insight in most comedians.
No.
But that is the official chant. Like if she doesn't orgasm, then rub her with
Wow.
celery, and that's what they chant.
Incredible.
How did that start? Like how did that sort of take off?
To be honest with you,
Yeah,
it puts the chips chant that was going around over here. Remember
Well, there was a moment, famously in League of Ireland football, a team called Sligo Rovers was nearly scored against them, but it was wide, and the ball hit one of the supporters in the hand, and his chips fell on the ground.
Yeah.
So the following week, they had a minute's silence for all the chips lost
That'd
to
have
the
been
league
lost. That'd have
in the
been
last
lost.
12
That'd have
months.
been lost,
There
yeah.
you go.
Anyway, listen, we should probably talk about Russell
you-
Howard with his
yeah,
comedy
yeah,
show,
fine.
mate. Just to be able to say this, because Russell is here because there's two shows, well, it's more than two shows, two dates happening in Vicar Street, 26th of September of 2026, and now added by popular demand, as they say, the 27th, and there's early and late shows on both of those dates, 26th and 27th of September. And it's called Don't Tell the Algorithm, right?
Yes.
And I noticed it's kind of, one of the things says, no phones, no distractions.
Yes.
Are you going to take phones off people?
No. But it's like the great
I thought
thing
it was
about
going to be one of those body searches
No,
going in for.
They've got like yonder pouches, they call them, but I'm not doing that. But it's just basically, it's like a night away from machines. That's what stand-up comedy feels like. Do you know what I mean, Pete? You probably know exactly. It's that thing of, you go to a gig, everyone's kind of got their phones out these days, everyone's recording it. Stand-up's one of those few things where you have to be in it. And it's sort of like communal and, I don't know. So that I just thought it was a nifty title for, shh, don't tell the algorithm, we'll have a night together.
I tell you what's interesting about that is with the screens or whatever, because I have to say, a lot of people would look at you, they'd see you and they go, oh, it's the bloke from the telly.
Yeah.
Because you've done a lot of TV work, haven't you? I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
Mock the Week, you've got your own stuff, the Good News Show, the
Yeah.
Russell Howard Hour and all that sort of stuff. It's a lot of TV, which
Yeah.
not all stand-up comedians kind of go for. They kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, I just got a bit lucky really. Like Mock the Week came along when I was like quite young, and then, you know, I was sort of standing on the shoulders of giants and just like learning on the job with like Frankie and Dara and that. And then kind of got my own show, and it all, I don't know, just became this weird little
And
thing.
but you like TV, is what I'm saying.
I
You
love
don't, you
it.
don't mind that sort of.
No, I like doing stand up on TV. I don't like doing TV for the sake of like I couldn't be a TV presenter. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't do that. Like host a reality show or something. I just don't have that I'm not interested, but I can write jokes and tell jokes.
But it's like probably getting reins put on you a little bit when you're a stand-up, isn't it? Like you're so used to being able to just do your own thing, and then TV, then there's all these hands sort of interfering.
Yeah, there's definitely fingers in the pie, but you don't have. That's the best thing about live gigs. You don't have lawyers there. Sort of that weird thing but it's always that explaining a joke to a lawyer before you've said it, and they're like, I don't think it's funny. Like, well, because you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
So let me say it, and the crowd will let me know whether it's funny. But
I
I don't trust you because you're a lawyer. And also, you shouldn't be doing this because you're a lawyer. Like, there's criminals. Do you know what I mean? That are kind of running free, and you're like saying, I can't tell a joke.
It's misplaced use of your time.
It feels like it's not exactly Ally McBeal, is it?
Well, by the way, can I just point out, more comedians should put that on their posters.
There's no lawyers here.
There'll be no lawyers here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd go to a show that said that.
But that makes your gigs feel a lot safer now, the whole idea that you don't have your phone there. Because every gig is such a unique experience. That collection of people will never be together in that same room ever again.
Yeah, and you know what it's like? It's sort of like those best gigs, you sort of have your prepared material, and then there's stuff that happens in the room, and then it all gets blended together. And you then can't go outside and explain to your friends why it was funny. But in that moment, it's like 2,000 people just kind of lost in laughter together.
And when you put a show like that together, right, do you kind of build in the idea that, okay, I've got whatever amount of material and I know roughly this, and this, and you have it all planned out or whatever, and then there'll be a bit where you'll just go off on whatever and nobody really knows.
You have to, and you definitely have to here. Like,
What could you possibly mean by that?
Well, you're just funny. And it's also, it just would be such a waste to, particularly as an English man, to presume that you're just going to walk on stage and go, I will speak to you, and that will be it.
Now, listen up, people. I'm about to be funny here.
Yeah, but there's a lovely to and fro that if you're kind of relaxed enough to kind of bring it into the performance, it just makes it so much better. There was a lady last time I was talking about Amsterdam, and she said that she'd been thrown out of a sex club in Amsterdam. And it was the most, talk about poetry.
Didn't involve celery, did it?
No.
Okay.
The way she said it, she went, there was a lady on stage having a go on herself, and sure, I felt inspired. Like that. And it's so evocative. But somehow...
Very Irish as well, having a go at herself.
Yeah, she was having a go at herself, but feeling inspired. And it's just, I loved it. But for me, and then straight away it was this whole thing of like, of just how ornate her language was. For clearly she was just doing what she was doing. That's what I'm like. It was so unique to that gig, and it was her. She said that, and then it brought the gig together. And it just would be silly to go, shut up, I'm talking now, I've prepared material. Right. Well, then you're missing out on moments like that.
Whatever about leaving space for things to happen as well. Do you consciously alter material depending on where you, like,
I do. I like
the
it.
country you're in, or whatever?
So I kind of, if you gig, like, I did like a European tour, and I was like, I was gigging in Barcelona. So again, it feels, or like Athens, it feels strange to kind of go in and go, this is the show. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whereas I would have a little walk about Barcelona, or there was a thing in Spain, I didn't know this, but I was in a hotel and I found out that the Spanish for do not disturb is no molesting, por favor. And you're like, but imagine the horror.
What a letdown, eh?
Yeah, but you're just kind of, I didn't know these people had to be told.
Yeah. It means now that you can only really have a go at yourself.
Yeah. But it's that thing. I really wanted my room tidied, but I don't want that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's
draw the line there.
But it's sort of thing of going, okay, that's the great thing about stand-up, that you can see something in the day and then talk about it. And particularly if you're in sort of Barcelona and you just see things that are unique to that city, it then feels odd to kind of go, the show is about.
And
this kind of like unbreakable monologue.
And that's the sort of the breaking the monologue is where the magic is, isn't it?
Yeah, and then it all kind of like sort of smushes together.
And you're talking about being out and about. Obviously now you're a very famous face now. You're very well known.
I really am here. This city has done me. It's done me and my ego.
It's a small city, like we all.
All right.
Well, no, I don't mean it that way.
A minute ago.
I mean, you can't get away with that. I saw here. That came out so wrong. That was not what I meant at all. Like,
I'm here.
He does that to me all the time. Also, by the way,
me and my friend Vicky. We were like walking along, and she was like going, "You get recognised a lot here. It's incredible. It's been fantastic." But and a lot of people just kind of saying they used to watch you when they were growing up, which makes me feel old. But kind of like proud.
Have you got that My Ma Loves You yet? And my dad thinks you're grateful.
Well, it's all happened like I'm 45 now, and so the big change is people, they remember me when they were growing up, or their mum likes me, or their gran likes me. And also, white chest hair from nowhere just appeared. It looks like Leslie Nielsen, my chest. It's crazy.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the subject of looking like people, because I didn't know this, right? And literally one of our colleagues, Trina, kind of ran in just when she found that we were chatting to you or whatever, and she ran in and she gave me this nugget, which I have to find out.
She gave you a nugget?
Well, this particular nugget of information, which I have to ask you whether it's true or not. Were you once misidentified as Ellen DeGeneres?
Yeah, well, yeah. I look a lot like Ellen. And
that's not true, is it?
no, I wasn't misidentified as Ellen, but I do look a lot like it.
She lied to me.
Yeah.
But also, I remember I went to the Wimbledon final. My dad's really into tennis, and
Right.
it's very rare that I can kind of get my dad something that he would truly like, and so he would definitely, like me as a son. But I thought, okay, the final of Wimbledon will be all right. So we go and watch that, and Ellen is there with her wife, and this is the madness of the male brain. I'm with my dad, and I'm going, oh Jesus, Ellen over there, we better move, because I was thinking, if Ellen's wife sees me, she's in real trouble. Because then it presents her with a real conundrum like that. But that's my
life-changing.
Never mind if they're in love. But I'm just kind of going, oh, geez, do you know what I mean? And my dad's like, yeah, you're right, we better move.
Yeah. I mean, who could resist?
You'll definitely break the marriage up.
That's what I was looking for.
It was so ridiculous. So maybe it's
Unbelievable. Look at
wild.
Vicar Street, 26th and 27th of September 2026. Early and late shows. Tickets on sale for all of those shows at the moment. Russell,
Hey,
Thank you
thanks
so
for me.
much.
thank you
Thanks
so
so
much.
much. Ole.
Thank you so much.
I love that. Cheers, guys.
Morning Glory.
Seriously addictive breakfast. Weekdays 6 to 10 with PJ Gallagher and Jim McCabe.
On Radio Nova.